Now I'm just gonna show different things in the what is remaining in chapter two. But once again, you need to read the chapter. There's several things that are simple that I did not cover in this video, right? And also you will have to read more in detail. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is about the power function. So you can, for example, let's just get this number. Okay, so it's gonna say here number. And then let's say I want to do 5 to the power of 2. So this is pretty simple. So for example, this is 5 to the power of 2, as we know in math. So for the math package, right, so when you do math dot, basically math is the class and these are all the methods. As you can see here, that you have all the math functions that are under this class. Okay, so the one that they talk in the textbook is math.power, which is just the power function. So here you can do 5 to the power of 2. Okay. And then when you print this number, okay, that should give me 25. I'm going to change this to a double. Okay. And now here you have the number 25. So you can play around with this function. It's pretty straightforward. Um, the other thing that I would have you read is about the power of the order of operation, which is pretty similar to what you know in math. Okay, so read that section. I'm just gonna concentrate in things that are more, I would say, maybe harder to understand. Okay, the other topic, pretty simple. Also, I would like to mention it just for fun. Now we can say that, let's say that I want to increase uh, my number by a factor by one, right? So I'm gonna go from 25 to 26. So you can use what is called an incremental operator or augmented operator. So if you do plus equal 1, okay, so now basically what you're doing is taking number is equal to number plus 1. Okay, so if you print this again, okay, basically we go from 25 to 26 now. Okay, so this is the same as saying number is equal to number plus 1. Okay. I am more of an old school guy, so you will see me writing this way. There's nothing which one is better, which one is worse. I like it this way because I can see my formula. And then if I want to change things, like, oh, wow, it's not number, it's a different variable. And then you can just change it here instead of typing everything again. That's the only reason I do it. Um, over time, I have found out that is more beneficial. Other things that you can do is that you can also use the plus plus operator. So, for example, you can also do number plus plus. Okay. Kind of like the same deal. You will see that the result is the same. Okay. So go over that table. You can, it will show you the different type of operations that you might have for incrementing or decrementing uh, variables. What is most important is about type conversion, which is casting. Okay, so let's say that we have this example. We're gonna say I'm gonna declare a variable. I'm gonna call it d is equal to 4.5, and then let's say that I have like code and more code, and then I'm gonna create a new variable. I'm gonna call it I, and I is gonna be equal to d. Okay? And then you're gonna see here that I have an error. The reason is that I is of the integer type and d is of the double type. so you cannot make that conversion. It's an input mismatch. So what you can do is what is called casting. Okay, so you can uh, change the the variable d to an integer type, right? So now it's being cast as an integer, right? So I think that d is an integer. That's one way that you can get away of dealing with variables of different types. Okay, so now if you print I, sorry, let's print both. Let's print d, and then let's also print I. Let's see what we get. You can see that one is 4.5, and then the other one is just the integer value, which is um, I. Right? So this is convenient when you're dealing with different type of variables. Okay. There is a section about software development process. Also, that's more theoretical. So I'm gonna ask you to read that. It's just a good read. In terms of the last thing that we might have to talk about, is about using um, escape characters. Okay, so there's a section dedicated to escape characters. Okay, so when we're dealing with escape characters, you might want to look at table 2.6. That's depending on the version that you have. Just go there. Okay. I need to log out from. Let me just pause here for a second. Okay. And here you have the different escape characters. The one that you're gonna use the most are backslash t, backslash n. Okay. So let me show you how this works. So let's say that you want to print stuff in columns, real nice. So these are tabs, right? So and then here I have. I'm just gonna put here like name, and then I'm gonna go slash t age slash t gender. Okay, and here if you print this, you're gonna see how it looks like, right? It looks really nice in columns. The advantage is that if you're gonna print below that, then you can just go here, say EM, okay, age unknown, and then gender and then you can see here that it goes by columns and everything is aligned. Without the escape character, it will be very hard to figure that out. Okay, 19. Okay, so it's giving you a hint. That's how old my daughter is. And then she's permanent. Okay. And then everything lines up real nice, right? With slash t. The other one that you can also use is dash n. So you can say this is the first line slash n and second line. Okay. And then we'll pretty much break it up by 9. Right? So it's pretty convenient. You can try the other escape character, but these are the two that you're going to use the most. Also, you have characters, right? So each character has a numeric value depending on the ASCII code. And the ASCII code is basically a table that the computer uses to understand characters, right? So you can just type ASCII tables on the net. There are thousands of them. So I'm just gonna show you one. I'm just gonna pick one here. Okay, and this how I used to play around with numbers. Right, but when you have the letter A, for example, okay, the letter A means a 65 in terms of numbers, right? That's how you can make the calculations, etc. Right, so I'm just gonna create a character of the chart type, and I'm gonna say that this is equal to A. Okay. And now I'm just gonna assign the character to integer, right? So I just want to test it, and then I just want to print that and see what I get. System.out.println, and then print number, okay? And then when you print it, you get the 65. And you can see that's basically the numeric value of your character A, right? So it's pretty nice to also compare letters and things like that, so you can just like try to put it together. Okay, but this is in the textbook. You can read more about it. Well, this will do it for chapter 2. I kind of like talk about the string section on the chapter 1 video, right? So you can look at that in that chapter. But let me just add maybe the string character type. That's kind of like I didn't talk about that in chapter 1 video. So you can create a string now instead of a character like I just did before, and then just let's say assign a string to that. Right, so you cannot do this with a chart type or the character type. So technically, you can just actually let me just create two strings. S1 is my full name, it's my name, and then string S2 is my last name. Okay. And then now when you try to print it, and you do S1 plus S2, okay. Let me see here. Let's say my colors out of place. Okay. Now when you print this, right, it gives you my full name. It's missing a space. You can do two things. You can either add it here after my name or before my last name, or the next thing to do will be just to add a space in between. Okay. And you get it right there. So hopefully this will cover everything that you need chapter 2, but once again you need to read the chapter. Thank you.